This is my 3-month review of the Colamy Atlas. I've already done a 1 week and a 1 month review, both very positive, but I want to continue doing these reviews right up to 1 year. So we're going to do 3 months today, 6 months next, and then 1 year just to see how this chair ages over time, if the build quality breaks down, if my opinion was very rose tinted at the start, and just generally if my opinion changes. So far it's been really good, with a couple small suggestions maybe, but we'll just get right into this. For reference, I'm 6'3" and around 95 kg, just to see if that gives anyone any help if they are thinking about this chair and if it will fit them well or not. Similar to the last video, we're going to start with the headrest. The headrest has 3 different types of adjustment. So it can go up, it can go down, it can pivot just like this, and it can actually go forwards and backwards, which makes it really usable. So something that I wasn't aware of in my 1 week review that a commenter kindly pointed out was that it does push in and out, because before that, for my first week, it wasn't that usable, and that was down to user error completely. With the headrest and that forward adjustment, it does make the chair very usable in multiple different sitting positions. So you can see when I'm fully straight, if I have the headrest up as high as it can go and pushed all the way in, it is giving me quite a bit of neck support, but it also works well in multiple different sitting positions in this chair. So if you want to recline a little bit, it still works perfectly. I can sit up straight and my neck is fully supported. I don't feel I'm going to fall through or push it back in any way. And also, if you want to just lounge, it makes it really good for playing games because my head is still high and straight enough that if I hold a controller here, I am good. I'm not there like keeping my head above the water or anything. It just works. So the headrest is really good. Moving on to the backrest, in my opinion, really comfortable. I live in Ireland, so it doesn't get too hot. So I know a big benefit of mesh is that if any countries that it's very warm, it reduces sweat. Not really an issue here. During summer, I didn't find it made that much of a difference because the summer here just isn't that hot. But it is really comfortable. I have no issues with the back at all. And I think it is quite supportive. It is a little bit rigid. It moves ever so slightly with you if you do turn like this. But if you're comparing it to something like a Herman Miller Embody, it's not going to move with your spine, so to say. It does have lumbar support here, which is very easily controlled just by sliding it up and down. If you don't want the lumbar support, just slide it all the way down and you won't notice it. I think the lumbar support's great. It's very easy to use. I don't think, personally, the hard plastic that it's made out of digs into your back and is in any way noticeable. However, there was one day where I had lower back pain because of something else. So I was playing football and fell, and I was quite sore for that day and the day after. And I noticed the lumbar support pretty much triggered it to get worse. So that day I didn't use it at all because it was actually making it quite a bit more obvious. Essentially, for the other 3 months that I've had this chair, it's been perfect. I don't feel it digs in, and it does support you a little bit. It's not a game changer by any means, but similar to a car's lumbar support system, it does enough. It stops lower back pain for long sitting sessions, and again, it's just another adjustment that you can use. If you are someone who suffers from lower back pain constantly, maybe give it a second thought because it probably could flare it up a little bit. I don't know that for 100% certainty, but I could see it being the case. I'm going to skim over the armrest just for a little bit and go straight to the seat cushion. So the seat cushion is described by professional reviewers as very firm or on the firmer side. Coming from a gaming chair, I think it is really comfortable. I don't think it's firm. It's firm in the fact that you don't sink into it like a cloud, but it's way comfier than a gaming chair, way comfier. I could sit in this chair for 8-10 hours a day with work, and then if I'm playing games or something afterwards, and I don't notice my legs or my bum or anything like that getting sore at all. There's loads of support for my under thighs, and some people have asked me about the shape of the chair because I believe it is concave. I think it's concave, not convex, where they've asked if when I'm sitting in it, do I feel like I'm getting pushed off it? And the answer is no, because there is so much surface area on the chair itself that you just have so much chair to sit on, in my honest opinion. And yeah, I just think it's really comfy. It's probably one of the highlights of the chair for me, along with all the adjustments that are on it. So I'm going to quickly try and go through these. The one here on the front left is for the seat pan, which is a really useful adjustment that doesn't come in a lot of these budget chairs. So just to do it, all you have to do is pop it out, and then you can see as I scroll back, as I wind back, it's pushing the seat pan further in. So if you're on the, if you're a little bit shorter, you want it pushed in because you don't want it to come too far out that your legs are like this. But because I am a little bit taller, I have it fully extended, and honestly, it fits me perfectly. Moving on to the other side, we have 3 adjustments. So the one in the very top right is your kind of basic up and down. So pretty standard on most chairs, it works fine. And then this lever here is for your tilt tension. Essentially, it means how easy or hard it is to push back when you don't have the seat lock in place. I like to have it probably medium to firm because I don't want it to just swing back on me, but I also don't want to be feeling like I have to push into anytime I change it. And then the actual seat lock position locks in 4 places. So you have your kind of straightest 90-degree angle. I believe it goes to 110, 130, and I think it's 140. I use it at every single adjustment throughout the day, every single day, to be perfectly honest. I often, at night, whenever I'm watching YouTube or playing games, will have my legs up on the bed like this. So not using the full ergonomic advantage of having this chair, but I think it's comfy as hell. And then if I'm working, I'll be either at this or at this. And then when I'm not working too hard, probably be at this. But adjustment wise, I think the chair is really good. All the adjustments are really easy to use. And so far on those adjustments, I haven't noticed anything negative. One potential negative that will annoy some people is that when you do move the seat lock, it is a little bit noisy. Personally, it's not something that bothers me too much, but you can hear the click anytime that you do change it. It's not silent. And one thing as well I noticed within the last week is that the seat gets noisier over time, but it's not necessarily to do with the build quality. It's because the screws that are under the seat get slightly looser and then move around a bit more and then are just a bit more clicky. So I just got an Allen key, tightened them up, and it was pretty much like the day I got it. So I'm not going to hold that against the chair. If you have this chair and notice that it is incredibly noisy, get an Allen key, tighten up the screws underneath it, and it should make a big difference. Moving on to the armrests, and arguably the weakest point of the chair, they have 4D adjustment, which is a strong point because it's much more adjustable than a lot of other armrests. So it goes forwards and backwards, side to side, it goes inwards and outwards, and then it goes up and down. So in terms of what adjustments are available, it is good. And if you're sitting upright at a 90-degree angle, it's fine. It works okay. But as you can see, even at a 90-degree angle, my elbows are essentially at the very back, actually slightly hanging off, which shouldn't be the case. A lot of other more intuitive armrest designs come in from the back, so you're always going to have a good ratio of arm to armrest, I suppose. So they aren't great. And what's worse is because the armrests don't move with you as you recline, each different sitting position, your arm will ever so slightly be further off. And when you're at a full recline, this is how I actually sit quite often if I don't have a controller or something in my hand, is that you actually fully grab the front just so your arms stay up. It's not a struggle, but it does. They're not great. That's all I'm going to say. They're not great. If the armrests, for whatever reason, are the most important part of a chair for you, this chair is not for you. But if you're like me and it's kind of one of those nice to haves, it can be a little bit inconvenient at times, but that's really all it is. It's not enough of a negative for me to not recommend this to anyone, in my opinion. If they had the armrest coming from the back of the chair, I think this chair would be almost perfect, but who knows? They could they could come up with another version that does just that. So who knows? And last but not least, the casters. Well, probably least. They're the least interesting point of the chair. They're made of aluminium here and then just standard plastic casters. I'll be honest, it's not something I care too much about. They move just fine on wooden floors. I use them on carpet and I think they work just fine as well. I know they can change out, so if you do want to upgrade them, you can. But yeah, that's really it. 3 months into owning the Colamy Atlas, I think it's still a great chair, a really good option for anyone who's considering a chair within this budget and doesn't want to spend 500 quid on a second-hand top range chair or 1,000 plus quid on a brand new one. It comes with a 3-year warranty, which, as I mentioned in my last videos, I'm not sure how easy it is to actually claim off. But when I bought this chair, I wanted to get 3 years out of it, and then any more than that is just bonus. If anything happens within the 3 years, I will be following up with Colamy to get it replaced. But fingers crossed nothing happens. This chair ages gracefully and all the adjustments always work and nothing ever goes wrong. But that's it. I'm going to follow this up in 3 months' time and do a 6-month review, so another refresher, and then finally at 1 year just to see how this chair ages overall. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments, and we'll see you in 3 months.